Yo, what's going on, guys? Real quickly, some news just broke from Chris Haynes. Free agent guard Aldonis Williams. I would say he's kind of more of a swing man at this point because he's like 6'6". Has reached an agreement with the Washington Wizards. His agent, Daniel Hazen, tells Chris Haynes, aka Chris B. Haynes, on Twitter. Now, I assume it's an Exhibit 10 contract with the ability to compete for a roster spot, that either being a standard contract or a two-way contract, as he is someone that technically still has eligibility as a two-way player, and he's played for the Brooklyn Nets, Miami Heat, and the Detroit Pistons. However, he spent most of his time so far playing in the G League, and he's someone, as I mentioned earlier, 6'5", 6'6". This past year, he played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce, and in those 27 games, he was averaging almost 49% from the field, 33% almost from three, while averaging 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists a night. He is a tall, facilitating guard. That's why I think he could play the point wing. He's someone that as well has played for the Long Island Nets, and the most time that he got in the NBA in terms of minutes was with the Miami Heat in 2023 to 2024. To me, he's someone that he's, as I mentioned earlier, just been on the cusp of being on an NBA roster. 210 pounds, 6'5", 26 years old. He had come out of Wake Forest, and really someone that has all the traits that you want. If the NBA had expanded, he'd be in the league. In 123 games in the G League, he's averaged 17.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists with 1.3 steals, shooting 48% from the field and then 35% almost from three on decent volume. And to be honest, I think when you look at Aldonis Williams, again, if you look at what the team needs, let's just pull up what the Wizards are looking at. I think the most interesting part about all of this is, do they have room for him to contribute, as I think he can play the 1, the 2, or the 3 due to his size. Bub Carrington, CJ McCollum, Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, Marvin Bagley III, Justin Champagnie, Chris Middleton, Corey Kesper, Trey Johnson, Malachi Brown, AJ Johnson, Will Riley, Cam Whitmore, Dylan Jones, Anthony Gill, Adekol Gak, Tristan Vucevic, and Jameer Watkins. They still have one two-way spot available. They will have to cut 3 guys. Adekol Gak is someone that I expect them to cut, and then Anthony Gill, Dylan Jones, and I assume probably the vets are duking it out for the final roster spots, as I guess actually they have to cut one guy between, because Adekol Gak, and then they have 16 standard contracts. So unless they trade somebody, it seems like one guy's going to get cut right there. And then you throw in Mr. Adonis Williams. He's going to be someone who's going to play behind Mr. CJ McCollum, Bilal Coulibaly, Corey Kesper, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington, Chris Middleton, competing with Malachi Brown, and probably for that roster spot, maybe. I feel like they want to keep Anthony Gill, and I think he's probably going to be a two-way guy, to be honest, which is fine. He's 6'5", he's got a good, solid frame. Obviously, he's not an elite athlete or anything, but he can shoot the three, he can create for others. Today's NBA, like, I feel like he just kind of fits what you would want. That's where I want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think he's someone that's deserving of a two-way? I know he's played 3 years of a season, but I basically think because he's barely played, and I don't think each of those seasons, I know it's been multiple two-ways, but I don't think he has enough eligibility, as he didn't play a full season, that he qualifies for the Harry Giles rule that allows him to play more, one more season with the two-way if he is given that with the Wizards, which I think is, out of all the players that were available, he was probably the most deserving, that had like skills of being an NBA player, in my opinion. At this point, 26 years old, I think he can actually get some minutes as a role. I'm not saying he's going to become some diamond in the rough that you're going to be like, oh, where did we see him? I never thought he would have became an NBA player. No, like I think he's skilled enough to probably make the team and come out and contribute for some minutes. But I do want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think he's someone that can maybe be a part of, I don't know, this team's rebuilds? I think he's the type of guy that uses this as a stepping stone in the next free agency to get a multi-year deal with an actual team after balling out with the Wizards, or joining a contender on a 1-year deal, playing well there, and then getting himself a multi-year deal. But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section? And do you guys agree that he's a good pickup for the Washington Wizards? And I like the idea of him being potentially their third two-way. I know someone's going to be like, why didn't they pick up so-and-so? Maybe they, obviously agents have a relationship, and at that point, you could make an argument that they believe they're going to get more out of Alondes Williams than they would have gotten from someone else, which quite honestly could be true. But I think at the end of the day, they just saw someone that fit their culture and what they're doing. And you can't blame an organization for thinking that this player can be their guy. And it's not, he's been with the organization before, so it's not absurd or a stretch for him to potentially be there, because Alondes Williams is someone that, what was it, with the Capital City Go-Go did he ever run with, I believe it was. But I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts, because I keep seeing a picture of him with the Wizards. Is this the first time, or did he have a training camp invite? I'm trying to confirm this. Aldana. Oh, I'm confirming this right now on the fly, because I feel like he has Wizards training camp, which I'm pretty sure he did. Yes, he signed a camp deal with the Clippers last year. I was wrong. He was with the Clippers last year, so it's not his first time. It was the Clippers last year. That's why it looks like he has a Wizards jersey on, because it's actually a Clippers jersey. So, more you know right there. If you made it to the end right here, I appreciate you. And hit that like and subscribe button. It'll mean a ton. And we're on the way to 20,000. So, cheers. Till next time, guys. By the way, do you think he makes the team? That's my last thought. All right, I'm out, because I have nothing else to say. Bye, everybody.